Right now at 10, neighbors on the east side of Madison are concerned after a string of violent crimes in their community.
And new information into the case of two missing Wisconsin brothers who are now believed to be dead.
Plus, the Supreme Court clears the way to start funding wall construction along the U.S.-Mexico border.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us tonight. People living on one East Side neighborhood here in Madison say multiple crimes, including two recent muggings, have them on high alert.
And now they're asking for help finding the people responsible. Adam Duxter spoke to several people in the Atwood neighborhood today, and he joins us now with why they want to see something done. Adam?
Well, Eric and Danica, the two women I spoke with today, say they're worried several incidents of crime aren't isolated. Now they say they're willing to do whatever it takes to keep their neighborhood safe.
Baldwin and Baldwin Street Grill.
Christine Wild and Tanya Cohen say they know the Atwood neighborhood like the back of their hand.
People feel pretty safe walking here. You can see pedestrians up and down the street at all times of the day.
Combined, the two have lived in this area for years, but a recent string of crime, including several violent crimes, have them on edge.
This is a community of such beautiful people and such kindness, and while it might have been an occurrence from time to time, it does seem like it's escalating.
According to Madison police, early this morning, another robbery happened at the intersection of Jennifer Street and Breeley Street. They say the suspect was able to get away into a car driven by someone else. Just days before and just blocks away, another robbery. And while police say it's too early to tell if these are related, Wild says she's convinced they are.
I think that these are not isolated incidents. I think they're highly organized.
These two say it's not just the robberies, but a rise in crime in general, which just days ago targeted Rick's Old Gold on Willie Street.
I actually got a call from the police alarm at about 1:30 in the morning, and I came right in. The air conditioner had been pushed out, which was kind of stupid because I put it in.
Owner Rick Paoli says this is a tight-knit community that oftentimes holds itself accountable. He says while the crime is concerning, they'll overcome.
You're always shocked when this kind of thing happens, but I mean, I've been down here 27 years. I've seen just about everything. I don't scare very easy.
These neighbors say it's going to take community action to do that.
I would like to see the community communicate and talk to each other and take action, because right now we are looking like a vulnerable community.
Christine and Tanya say they want to encourage people to speak up if they are a victim of a crime, and encourage anyone with information as to what's happening in their neighborhood to call Madison Police Department's tip line.
Authorities in Missouri are now classifying the case of two Wisconsin brothers who went missing last weekend as a death investigation. Police say they do have a suspect in the case, but they are not identifying who that is. Another man is also being charged with tampering with the brothers' rental vehicle. Court documents say that man, 25-year-old Garland Nelson, moved it from a residence to the commuter parking lot where it was discovered. The search for the brothers, 35-year-old Nicholas and 24-year-old Justin Diemel, is still ongoing.
At this time, we're still actively working. It's very methodical, very detailed searching. As you guys have seen today, been out here. We have had dogs and other things like that working out here. We're continuing to update you guys on the situation.
Last night in Navarino, Wisconsin and Shawano County, the community came together to show their support for the brothers and their family. A prayer service was held as dozens of people came out for a candlelight vigil.
There is an update tonight from the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. Staff there are working now with the State Department of Health Services to treat 8 children who have been hospitalized this month alone with severe lung damage, all believed to be caused by vaping.
It was alarming to have, over a short period of time, 8 previously healthy teens come in very sick, unable to breathe, with weight loss, looking as if they had some sort of chronic lung disease when they didn't.
The hospital says the severity of health conditions in these kids has varied, but some patients need assistance in order to even breathe. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports 6 other teens and young adults tonight, most in southeastern Wisconsin, have lung damage that might be connected to vaping.
Let's turn things over to weather now. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield with our first alert forecast. Dave?
Eric, there is a tiny chance of a shower or storm overnight for southern Wisconsin, but most of the activity is going to stay to the north and west for now. That may change as we head into later this weekend. Severe weather possible for portions of northwestern Wisconsin. Pretty quiet for southern Wisconsin. Some showers and storms over Lake Michigan. We did see some raindrops, especially this morning across our neck of the woods. Temperatures have moved into the upper 70s, some mid 70s showing up a little bit closer to Platteville and Mineral Point. 79 in Madison. Dew points in the mid 60s and upper 60s. So starting to feel that humidity a little bit more, and that humidity sticking around for this weekend. Showers and thunderstorms possible as we get into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Highs should make it once again into the mid to upper 80s. Some of those storms could be strong to severe, so we'll track them hour by hour, time them out in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Dave. New tonight, the Supreme Court has cleared the way for the Trump administration to tap Pentagon funds to build sections of the border wall with Mexico.
Tonight, the Supreme Court said it would lift a freeze on the money put in place by a lower court. That freeze had prevented the government from accessing about $2.5 billion in Defense Department money to replace existing sections of barrier in Arizona, California, and New Mexico with more robust fencing.
Nearly 25,000 people here in Wisconsin could be cut from the food share program. A proposed change to the federal food stamp rules would affect more than 3 billion people nationwide. The changes mean that it would limit access to food share assistance and make the eligibility requirements more strict. We talked with one woman who told us this would impact her family, who relies on the program to make ends meet.
You have to spend all your cash on food and pay your rent and bills. There's nothing left over. You can't buy you anything. You can't save anything.
The proposed changes have not yet been approved, and there is a public comment period happening through September. For more information on the changes and that comment period, you can head over to channel3000.com.
A 30-year-old American tourist who was detained in Syria in the spring has been freed after 2 months. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand has more on his release.
American tourist Sam Goodwin was released and then reunited with his family 2 months after he was detained in Syria. His parents issued a brief statement Friday saying, "We are grateful to be reunited with our son Sam. Sam is healthy and with his family. We are forever indebted to Lebanese General Abbas Ibrahim and to all others who helped secure the release of our son." The Lebanese military official is believed to have helped negotiate Goodwin's release. CBS News has learned no ransom was paid. It's believed the St. Louis native was held by the Syrian government, controlled by the Assad regime. Sources familiar with the case tell CBS News that Goodwin was tried and convicted in Syria for entering the country without a visa. On his blog, Goodwin says he was traveling the world with the goal of visiting every nation. On YouTube, he posted videos of himself walking with cheetahs, feeding tortoises, and sitting on top of waterfalls. He discussed his travels when he was a student at Niagara University in New York.
Traveling and seeing, new cultures and people who live much differently than the way we do. And I think that by understanding other people, it really helps us to understand ourselves.
Several Americans, including journalist Austin Tice, are still being held in Syria. Tice is said to have been detained at a government checkpoint nearly 7 years ago. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The U.S. has not had diplomatic relations with Syria since the civil war began there.
Also overseas, North Korea is calling a short-range missile launch yesterday a warning to South Korea ahead of planned military exercises with the United States next month. South Korea says the missiles are a new design for North Korea, and the U.S. had no warning the missiles were going to be launched. President Trump downplayed the tests, saying they were only short-range missiles, which a lot of people have. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo suggested it was a negotiating tactic in the ongoing nuclear talks. Back here in Wisconsin, tampons and pads would be offered free in bathrooms at all schools and government buildings in Wisconsin under a new proposal at the state capitol. The bill's author says access to menstrual products shouldn't be any different from other products you find in bathrooms, like toilet paper and soap. Similar proposals have been introduced before but failed to get Republican support needed to pass. A tampon drive in Dane County this week collected more than 100,000 products. It was spearheaded by community leaders who are applauding the effort at the state level to raise awareness on this issue.
As young girls start to menstruate, their confidence goes down. And there seems to be a direct correlation in not having enough period products.
Dispensers in Dane County buildings like the City County building downtown and the courthouse offer pads and tampons for free. There are also plans in the works to install the machines at Dane County parks.
Eat Street says it was targeted by hackers earlier this year. Chief Executive Officer Matt Howard said today that data breach happened in May. According to Howard, an unauthorized third party accessed the company's database. Immediate action was taken to secure the data and eliminate the third party's access. He says several precautions were taken, including informing app users whose personal information was affected. Howard said Eat Street also provided further steps that users could take to protect their information. More than 13 tons of cocaine seized in international waters of the Eastern Pacific from late June through mid-July was offloaded in San Diego today. According to the Coast Guard, those drugs are worth an estimated $350 million. They were seized from 6 suspected smuggling vessels and 2 floating cocaine bales found off the coasts of Mexico, Central and South America by the Coast Guard. People in the town of Rialto, California, just outside San Bernardino, got an unexpected fireworks show this week. The explosions came from inside a fireworks warehouse. They were so intense, some people who lived nearby had to be evacuated for a time. The mortars shot out of a cinder block bunker that exploded into flames Tuesday night at a fireworks storage yard. The explosives blasted off for an hour, keeping firefighters back at a distance to battle those flames. Luckily, no one was injured. No employees were there when that bunker exploded.
Sunflower Days is back in the town of Middleton this year after not happening last year. And that means you and the family can once again walk through Pope Farm Conservancy, but it will come at a cost. There is now a $4 admittance fee, which pays for the shuttle between designated lots and the park. The previous owners of the farm say when they sold the land to the town, it was agreed that the space would always be free and open to the public. Town leaders say while they do respect the family's concerns, the event needed more organization to keep it going.
The troubled Woodstock 50 anniversary concert is moving to Maryland. Producers of the event say they have secured a deal to bring the 3-day event to Meriwether Post Pavilion in Columbia. Woodstock 50's main financier backed out earlier this year, and organizers have not been able to secure the original site in New York. The announcement comes the same day a main headliner pulled out of the deal. Jay-Z says he'll no longer perform. The concert's scheduled for August 16th through 18th. Still ahead tonight, your updated forecast for the weekend.
But first, it is widely known as the most famous car in the world, and it is going up for auction. How much it's expected to bring when we come back.
Welcome back. Senator Ron Johnson is calling on House Democrats to help pass the United States-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. The Republican senator hosted a roundtable discussion in DeForest today to discuss the impact of the proposed USMCA. The agreement replaces NAFTA and aims to benefit farmers in Wisconsin by strengthening food and agriculture trade in North America. Senator Johnson says Congress must ratify the deal for it to become final.
On Mark Pocan and Ron Kind and Gwen Moore and Tammy Baldwin to put pressure on Nancy Pelosi for the benefit of Wisconsin farmers to bring up in the House the USMCA trade deal and ratify it as is. There's no opening up that deal. That's not the way this works. The trade deals are negotiated and they're ratified by the countries. That's what the House has to do. So.
Democratic Representative Ron Kind says he has serious questions about the USMCA, saying, quote, these issues include enforceability of labor and environmental standards and lifting the tariffs on Mexico and Canada that continue to hurt Wisconsin workers, farmers, and businesses.
The U.S. Justice Department has given its blessing to a mega merger between T-Mobile and Sprint. That merger between the nation's third and fourth largest wireless carriers now needs approval from the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC. 13 states, though, including Wisconsin and the District of Columbia, have also filed a lawsuit to block this merger. And if that deal goes through, the new company will become the third largest wireless provider behind Verizon and AT&T. Back in Madison, with a major multi-year road construction project behind them, Monroe Street business owners are looking to prove they are still going strong. There are special deals happening tomorrow for the Monroe Street Summer Sidewalk Sale. That goes from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Last year, there was significant work being done on that road. For a full list of participating restaurants and shops, you can search for Monroe Street on channel3000.com.
Sotheby's is auctioning off the James Bond 1965 Aston Martin DB5, widely known as the most famous car in the world. The iconic vehicle was featured in the movie Goldfinger and has been fully restored with all of the Bond gadgets. The James Bond 007 Aston Martin estimated to sell for up to $6 million at next month's auction in Monterey.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have a little extra cash to put in. If we all pull together, Dave, I think maybe we can take the top down.
6 million short.
Yeah, 6 million, exactly. give or take. But maybe not. It's a little humid out there to put the top down.
Yeah, the weather needs to be a little bit more shaken and not stirred outside.
Good.
I mean,
I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too, Danica. I haven't missed this humidity, though. Let me say that, because it was pretty comfortable for much of this week, but especially this evening, we really started to feel that humidity build a little bit more across southern Wisconsin. We have a severe thunderstorm watch to our north and west, closer to Eau Claire and the Twin Cities, although a lot of that activity is falling apart. Still, for southern Wisconsin, don't be surprised if we see a shower or two overnight. I think our better storm chances arrive tomorrow, a marginal risk of severe weather. So that's 1 out of 5, level 1 out of 5, but still a strong to severe storm can't be ruled out tomorrow afternoon and evening. As far as rain chances go over the next 48 hours, we're probably dry overnight as we head into tomorrow late afternoon into the evening hours. I would have the umbrella ready to go because those showers and thunderstorms will start to spark up at that time. Now, exactly where they will, that is still a little bit up for debate with our forecast model. So be ready and keep an eye to the sky tomorrow because, again, some of those storms could be a little bit on the strong side. And then we could have an encore performance of showers and thunderstorms by the time we get into later on Sunday as that front comes a little bit closer to us once again. Our time lapse in Madison is not there. That's okay. We did have the showers and maybe a few thunderstorms roll through in the morning. It was a little bit dark of a time lapse there, but it looks pretty similar to what we're seeing right now in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. Mostly clear skies. On the Edgewater Skycam, a nice view of the Capitol. Gorgeous sunset tonight across southern Wisconsin. Lots of great colors there. My time matched it for a little while. I was pretty excited about that. I was pretty excited the temperature stayed a little bit on the cool side because of the clouds that were around this morning. We did see that sunshine by the afternoon. Still running about 2 degrees above normal for this time of year for high temperatures. In the upper 70s in Madison right now, 77 in Janesville, 75 in Monroe. We're looking at dew points starting to creep up a little bit more day by day. We're feeling a little bit sticky outside in Madison and a little bit more uncomfortable as we head a little bit closer to southwestern Wisconsin. Now, temperatures over the next couple of days will be in the upper 80s before those showers and thunderstorms spark up in the afternoon and evening hours. Could feel like the low 90s at times, but another comfy stretch of weather on the way for the middle of next week. High pressure dominating drier air in town. Highs in the upper 70s and low 80s from Tuesday through Thursday. So if you don't like the humidity, it will get better pretty quickly. Temperatures in the upper 60s for tonight. Slight chance of a shower or storm, but I think most of us stay partly cloudy. Breezy, warm, and humid for tomorrow. Showers and storms sparking up late in the afternoon and early evening hours. We could see that on future tracks starting off in the upper 60s. Really, our latest forecast models have been kind of not as optimistic on those storm chances, but still, all you need is a little bit when we have this humidity in the atmosphere to get those storms going. So keep an eye to the sky tomorrow. Similar story on Sunday with some showers and storms possible, and then another round of showers and storms could be possible on late Sunday into early Monday morning. After that, we dry out for the middle of next week. Temperatures in the upper 70s and lower 80s, so more comfortable weather on the way. Then as we head into next week, our temperatures are in the upper 80s for Friday, and next weekend looking not too bad with temperatures near 80.
Yeah, something to look forward to, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Breaking that humidity. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. A new face in Green Bay, a very familiar one for Badger football fans. That story plus Cubs Brewers highlights next in sports.
Miller Park is the place to be this weekend as the Brewers and Cubs renew their I-94 rivalry. A lot on the line as the Cubs start the night with a 2-game lead on the Brewers in the Central Division with less than 60 games to go in the regular season. It was a heck of a game. Cubs were leading 2-1, bottom of the 8th, but Ben Gamble comes through with the big hit. A single that scores 2 runs to give the Brewers the lead. Josh Hader just closed it out. Final score, Brewers 3, Cubs 2. At Warner Park tonight, the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters lead the Mallards 6-5 in the 9th. Tomorrow night, the Mallards continue the homestand as the Lakeshore Chinooks play at the Duck Pond just after 6. A former Badger joins the Green Bay Packers. Defensive lineman Olive Sagapolu is 6'2", 331 pounds, and will get a chance to be a run stopper on the Packers' defensive line. Sagapolu wore 99 last year at the Badgers. The Packers gave him uniform number 67, and they stuck him in a small locker in an area away from the spacious main locker room.
I'm just taking it little by little. In this little locker room, but every guy has to start somewhere. So, for me, it's just kind of going out and having fun and just learning everything, trying to understand what the coaches are trying to preach to us. Every rep that I get, whether it's 1 or 6, try to make sure that every rep is a meaningful rep. Just showcase that I can play and I'm ready to play. So if my number is called, I'm ready to showcase what I can do.
Question number 1 in training camp, of course, is the relationship between quarterback Aaron Rodgers and head coach Matt LaFleur. Everyone's looking for signs of how that's developing after 2 days on the field. Rodgers says so far everything's just dandy.
What I can say is that him and I are friends. And I think that's the first part of the relationship. And the on-the-field relationship is one that grows over time. He hasn't called a play into me in a game situation yet. So there's a process of feeling comfortable with the way the play comes in and him trusting me and me trusting him. But I feel great about the communication. He's in every meeting. We spend time one-on-one talking about stuff. He's the main voice in the offensive room.
Didn't take long for Mike Daniels to find a new job. He joins the Detroit Lions after the Packers released him Wednesday. Rodgers said yesterday he didn't want to have to play against Daniels, but Daniels, if he sticks with the Lions, Rodgers is going to have to face him twice this season. There's a new leader after 2 rounds of the Madison Men's City Golf Tournament. Patrick Murphy shot 72 at Hawks Landing to take a 1-shot lead. They cut the field to the top 40. The 3rd round is tomorrow at the Oaks. The final round is Sunday at Black Hawk. And it looked like it would be a fine day for the 19th stage of the Tour de France in the Alps. Everything was going along just fine until this. That white stuff, it isn't snow, it's hail. A big hailstorm in a valley where the stage was supposed to run forced them to stop while end loaders and snow plows pushed the slushy stuff off the course. By then, the stage was canceled 18 miles from the finish. And we'll be right back.
When it happened in 1996, it was bad.
just going to get stickier out there, isn't it?
Yeah, the humidity sticking around this weekend, and storm chances are as well. Temperatures in the upper 80s Saturday and Sunday. Could feel like the low 90s at times before those showers and storms come through. Some of those storms could be a little bit strong, especially on Saturday, so we'll have to stay weather aware. The storms wrapping up Monday morning, then more comfortable for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s.
Dave, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.